I was going to play Tempai Dragon, but the cards didn't come in time. So I played this deck. It's Snake Eye's deck profile. I love these things. So 3 copies of Snake Eye Ash. It's Snake Eye Ash. I mean, I wouldn't alter this at all. Then there's these cards. This was the super heavy build of Snake Eye, which basically involves activating Wakaushi and hoping your opponent doesn't open Droll and Lockbird. I did occasionally see Droll and Lockbird, which was quite sad, but there wasn't much I could do. This deck is kind of fun, but has like too many flaws, so I probably wouldn't play this again. I'd just wait for the Dia Bellstar reprint to come out in the Bonanza set, Rarity Collection 3. So yeah, but for the rest of the starters I played, a single 1-for-1, 2 original, because you kind of need to get to your Snake Eye stuff in this deck, because you're playing less starters, because you don't have the Fiendsmith stuff or Dia Bellstar. And then 2 Poplar. These felt really good. I didn't open 1-for-1 at all. I opened original and it was okay. Ash felt good when it resolved. Basically, everything felt good when it resolved, but if it didn't resolve, it didn't feel so good. So, take this deck profile with a pinch of salt, because I'll go into matchups later, and it was only okay. The only extender, which is Field Spell, which you can pair with this card to extend by summoning it, it's cool. I like it. I like this card a lot. I like the Snake Eye artwork a lot. It's just like a small tangent thing, which I think the Snake Eye art is really, really cool. It just disappoints me that they're bad. Not that they're bad, but this deck doesn't feel great after the Fiendsmith stuff came out. To be honest, I should have played this in this deck, but I didn't have enough brain cells in time. Anyway, it's single Flamberge. The second one never came up, so I'm actually pretty happy that I only played one. I think cutting down to 1 Flamberge is now just like pretty reasonable. 1 Oak, Big Monk Benki, and a single Soul Gaia booster for just kind of cards you don't want to draw. Oak is fine to draw in some hands. These two are, this one's especially awful. This one's like meh, and then this one is also awful. I'll go into matchups later where we can talk about how many times I opened these cards and cried. But I played 3 Crossout and a single Call By. I don't think I ever resolved Crossout this tournament. And honestly, that makes me a little sad, because it is a good card. I don't think I ever saw it. And Call By I did use, like, once, I think, actually. I just drew it once, which, you know, for kind of preventative cards, they were okay. And then a Tactics just for the Crossout. In hindsight, if I was rebuilding this deck, I'd actually remove the Tactics. There was never a case where it came up and actually felt good. For other cards, though, 3 Droll, 3 Nib. We're gonna be here. We're gonna be here a while. A Magnamut, a Druid's Worm, 3 Ash, 3 Veiler, and a single Imperm. So quick thing, the single Imperm was there more of a Crossout target than an actual hand trap, but you could still resolve it as a hand trap. I really like the theory, but as I mentioned, I don't think I ever drew Crossout, so it never came up. But I do think I would keep playing it probably. I did activate Imperm once though. It was fine, wasn't great. Ash felt pretty standard. I never opened Veiler, so at least not to my memory off the top of my head. I might have opened Veiler once. Yeah, never mind. I opened it like a couple times, and it was like, yeah, I did. I opened it a couple times, and it was like fine. Magnamut and Druid's, I resolved Magnamut. It was fine, but not amazing. Nib and Droll carried. These cards were good. I would play these again 100% at 3. These cards felt really, really good to play, just because while they're not live in every matchup, the matchups where they are live, these cards just make the game so much easier. Like, unbelievably easy. So I'd recommend Nib and Droll. If you can play Imperms and Veilers, so if you're playing a different version of Snake Eye, max out on those, because they're not once per turn, but yeah. For the extra deck, it's, I want to say pretty standard, but Fiendsmith came out, so Snake Eye extra decks are a little less cookie cutter. But this one was a pure Snake Eye one, I guess, with the super heavy stuff, so it's a little bit more cookie cutter. Anima, this should be Link Karibo, but that card's banned. For Link 2's IP, because you need it for the combo, and of course, the two Charmers, because these cards are good. They came up a couple times, and they were pretty good. A single Phoenix, yeah, it was okay. Princess is phenomenal. Celine, I can't remember if I ever used it. I did not ever resolve it, I think, which is interesting, and I do want to talk about later. A Unicorn, more for removal. And then for Link 4 is an Appaloosa for the M board, because it's good. Ambler Whale to go into Zelantis, because I do not have the Salamangreat Link 4. There is a lot of glare on the Appaloosa, I'll just move it out of the way. Access Code as the last one. I never resolved it, but there was a game where it would have just been access code for game. So, and then for the rank 4s, this, if you don't know, I think I've discussed it in a previous video, is Infernal Flame Banshee. Basically, with the super heavies, if you open either one of them, it's a free rank 4 that doesn't use your normal summon, and this card searches any level for a lower pyro, so you add Ash. A single Baguska. Never summoned it, but I've summoned it in the past in this deck, and it's pretty fun. And then a Typhon. Never summoned it. I don't think I could have ever summoned it, but it's pretty good if you can. Quickly onto the side. 3 Ghost Ogre. I sided it in, and I think I activated it, and it was like, okay. 3 Phantasme. I would consider cutting these. If I could have Mulchummy, these would be Mulchummy, but I don't have Mulchummy, so I don't know what I put instead, but not Phantasme, because it never really came up where it was actually good. But then again, that might have been due to unlucky matchups. 3 Metaltronus. This card's kind of okay, but I never resolved it. 3 Cyclone. This card was good. It came up, like, twice, but I lost both those games, but my opponent opened all gas both those games, and there was just kind of no stopping it from there. And then 3 Skill Drain. Never drew it. It is a good card, though. So, yeah. Round 1 was against Dino, where we won 2-0. I opened Call by the Grave game 1 going first, which I have read Miscellaneousaurus. And game 2, I opened just enough starters to where I was able to push through interaction and end up making not lethal, but enough of a game-winning board to where it was enough to win the matchup. Round 2 was against Centurion Whitewood's Toy, where we lost 2-0 because we only opened Snake Eye Ash for a starter, and our opponent opened Imperm first game. So that didn't go too well. Round 3 was against a very cool deck in DDD Fiendsmith. However, I have read both the DDD cards and the Fiendsmith cards, so I knew exactly where to hit, which was basically just the Link monster both games to stop them getting to scales, and that was pretty much it. The final round was against Tenpai Dragon, and while I have read the Tenpai cards and have got a few of them in the mail, I have never really played around with this matchup and therefore had very little experience. So it was pretty much like game over, just because I made a series of stupid mistakes and it ended up costing me the game. So that was that. For final closing thoughts, I felt like I could have done better the whole time, but at the same time I was planning on playing Tenpai and did a bit of testing for that, and the cards didn't come. So, you know, I had a bit of a disadvantage. I'm not too happy with how I performed. I was happy with the locals, it was very fun, but I really felt like I could have done better. So I'm going to be trying to play a bit better. I'm probably not going to continue with this exact deck because I'm expecting it to get hit on the ban list for 1, but also there's 2 other decks that I want to try out in Tenpai Dragon and Gimmick Puppet. So I guess whichever one you want to see me play next, I might play for a couple more local reports. So I guess comment that down below. If you enjoyed this, like and subscribe. That'll be cool, because I want to make more of these, and I will regardless. But, you know, it'll be nice, because my channel is basically minuscule at this point. And I can't upload all too often, but I can try and make some stuff. So if you have any suggestions for improvements, I can work on those in the comments. And thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye.